The silk on Veronica Coriona's skin felt less like a wedding gown and more like a burial cloth.
A beautiful match. Take good care of our sister.
In the House of Corleone, love is a cage.
Your father sees a decorative piece. He is a fool. I see a girl who listens, who remembers, who is not stupid.
Third bookcase in the library, Dante's Inferno. Push the scene. What is inside is not for you to spend. It is for you to survive.
I understand.
He is gone.
I am no longer Veronica Cogliano, the disposable daughter. I am Veronica Alberti, the widow, the heir.
Don Alberto named you the sole beneficiary of his entire estate. All holdings, liquid and otherwise, are transferred to you.
Not a stipend, not a share. Everything.
There is a condition. 1 month of mourning. You remain here at the estate for its duration, for your safety and propriety.
Instructed by whom?
By the terms of the will, and the late Don's final wishes.
You will do nothing. You will say nothing. Your brothers will handle the transition.
I understand I inherited a great deal of money, Father.
You inherited trouble. You are a woman, a grieving widow. Act like one. Stay quiet. Stay in that house. You just sign where we tell you. Let me protect you. I can manage everything for you.
That wasn't a threat. From Ricardo, it was a promise.
They're circling.
Sharks smell blood in the water. It is their nature.
And what's your nature, Luca? Do you smell blood too?
My nature is to follow orders. Don Antonio's last order was clear. Your safety. For 1 month. After that, the water belongs to the strongest swimmer.
Remain here, signora.
This is private property, Signore Coroni. You are not welcome.
This is my sister's property. I'm here to do an inventory. Move.
There you are. Tell this dog to stand down.
You broke my door.
What?
Antique Italian walnut. And you assaulted my staff. On my property.
The will names me, Veronica Alberti, sole beneficiary. Mr. Giovanni Rossi has filed the papers. The police have been notified of the estate's status.
You're bluffing. You wouldn't dare cops into this.
Wouldn't I? What's the headline, Sandro?
This isn't over.
For today, it is. Get out of my house. And send a bill for the door. I'll deduct it from whatever portion of Father's estate you eventually receive.
That was unexpectedly effective.
He'll be back. Angrier.
Yes. But now he knows you're not a mouse.
This is not a treasure vault. This is an archive, a cold, clinical information repository. Then I saw them, 3 envelopes, placed alone in a drawer.
Alberto didn't leave me wealth. He left me leverage.
The labels were typed in the same neat font. My breath caught in my throat. The air in the cellar grew colder. I collapsed into the chair at the desk, the cold leather seeping through my dress. The documents lay before me, like autopsies of my family. This is not money. This is not power in the form of stocks or deeds. Alberto was right. What was in that safe was not gold. It was gallows. And my brothers had been patiently, greedily, foolishly weaving their own nooses for years.
All right, brothers. You want a war? Let's give you one.
He is alone, but he is never unarmed.
You look tired. This burden is too much for you to bear alone.
Sugar?
Let me help you. These assets are dangerous in the wrong hands. I can manage them for you. A trust. For your own protection.
It's all so overwhelming. Sandro was so angry. He said things.
Sandro sees everything as a fight. He doesn't understand finesse. His dealings with the Eastern Americans are reckless. Father is livid.
Ricardo leaves a trail. Sandro is a liability. Father is clinging to sentiment. Empires aren't run on loyalty, they're run on intelligence, on connections.
Like your connections?
I've made arrangements, contingencies, to protect the family's interests in a changing landscape.
It sounds sensible. But Mr. Rossi was very specific about the month of Mourne. I don't want to evaluate anything.
Lawyers can be made to see reason. Rossi understands where his long-term interests lie.
Don't take too long. Windows of opportunity have a habit of closing.
He thinks I'm a lamb, Luca.
And are you, Signora?
No, but it's useful for him to think so.
Time's running out, Veronica. That month will be over before you know it. You'll need real family then.
I have real family. They're standing over there.
Let us handle the logistics. You should rest.
The logistics are being handled by Don Alberto's staff, as per his wishes.
You will come thous tomorrow. We will discuss your future. You look like your mother. She too had a mind of her own. It did not serve her well. My daughter is grateful for your concern. She will retire to the Alberi estate to observe mourning. All matters pertaining to Don Alberti's holdings will be addressed through the family in due course.
Thank you for your concern, Father. And thank you all for coming to pay your respects to my husband. As you know, the terms of Don Alberti's will are quite specific. I will honor the period of mourning to the letter. All matters pertaining to the Alberti estate will be handled by myself and the appointed executors at the appropriate time. Until then, my family is my late husband's memory. I intend to honor it. If you'll excuse me, the lawyers are waiting.
That was unwise.
It was necessary. They were going to bury me next to Politely.
They still might. Now they know you see the shovel.
My condolences, Mrs. Alberti. Perhaps we should discuss mutual concerns and future stability over dinner.
I'm in mourning, Mr. Moretti.
I'll be direct. Your late husband's affairs were of long-standing interest to my office. His death creates a power vacuum. Vacuums create chaos. Chaos is bad for business.
My husband was an importer.
Of course. Let's call it import-export. My office prefers known quantities. Predictable outcomes. If your family's handling of things become problematic, you have my card. I can be a powerful friend to those who understand how friendship works.
I appreciate your concern for stability. My family is handling the transition.
Your family, yes.
The Morettis offer alliance. The feds offer protection. Everyone wants a peace.
You are the peace, Signora. And the board.
Tomorrow, at my father's house. Whatever happens, I need you to listen. I need you to remember.
My orders are to protect you. Listening and remembering are part of that.
Now, I had to decide. Am I the lamb on the menu, or something else entirely? The answer, I knew, lay in that cold, silent cellar beneath my feet, and in my heart, that cold, steadfast, crystallized resolve.
You will wait outside. You spoke out of turn at the funeral.
I spoke the truth.
The truth is what I say it is. You embarrass this family.
The Bratka deal is stalling because of her. They see a woman in charge, they see weakness.
Once the transition is settled...
It is not settled!
Because she holds the keys. You will sign power of authority to Marco. He will manage the Alberti holdings. You will remain at the estate, out of sight. This is not a discussion.
No. Or perhaps I'll ruin your deal with the Vornik brothers. The one where you promised them the docks in exchange for enforcement services.
You lying bitch! You know nothing!
Shipment arrives next Thursday. You use Neptune Imports to move the down payment. Neptune Imports overlaps with your charitable foundation, doesn't it, Marco? The one the assistant DA is so interested in.
Where did you hear that?
The cleanup at the warehouse last month was messy. Fibers left behind, distinctive gloves. One store in Queens, security cameras.
Alberto, the old fox, he gave you everything.
I think I am no longer a child playing with matches. I am the one holding the fuel. If anything happens to me, if I have so much as a suspicious headache, copies of everything go to the district attorney, the FBI, the commission, and the New York Times. In that order. We're leaving.
Hold on! Can you move?
I think so.
Not murder. A message. We can reach you anywhere.
We cannot be here when the police arrive. Too many questions. Are you hurt?
I went straight to the library. I pushed the spine of the book. The hidden door clicked open. Luca followed me. His silence asked questions, but did not obstruct. I found what I needed. The files on Ricardo and Sandro. 2 paths. One for the silent knife. One for the blunt, heavy hammer.
One for Detective Salvatore Moretti, one for James Thorne. The clinic is the Pavoni Institute. The gang leader is Jerome Thompson in Rikens. They'll know what to do.
This will start a fire, Senora.
The fire already started. Ricardo threw the first gasoline can, I'm throwing the second.
Moretti hit a stash house in Red Hood, Sandro's. They found the guns from the missing shipment. One of Jerome Thompson's men is talking. The Pavoni Institute got a federal subpoena. No arrests, but someone is asking the right questions. Sandro blames Marco. Marco thinks Sandro finally drew real heat. Ricaldio is silent. He is investigating.
Let them suspect each other. Uncertainty is a weapon, too.
You will come. Tonight. Alone.
I'm not sure that's wise, Father.
Alone, Veronica.
It has a 5-hour battery, GPS, and a distress signal. Press the stone twice quickly if you need extraction.
Extraction.
You are killing this family.
No, Father. It was dying long before I picked up a serpal. I'm just the one willing to point at the gangrene.
They will destroy you. Then each other. There will be nothing left.
There might be, if someone is left standing to pick up the pieces.
Alberto saw it in you. The cold eye. He said you were the only one with the stomach for what came next. I laughed at him. The joke is on me.
Goodbye, Father.
The clinic. The clinic. Clean moves for an amateur.
One breath through the fear. He knew about the clinic. He let me go.
That is not a compliment. It is a measurement. He is recalculating your threat level.
He's not with Sandro or Marco. He's watching them too, waiting to see who's left standing.
Or who is left standing.
The old order was cracking. Her father was dying. Her brothers were turning on each other. And Ricardo had finally looked at her and saw what she was becoming. She was no longer just a piece on the board. She was the hand moving them.